DWP shocks. Millions. 7. New banking rules. Just confirmed. Every UK pensioner must act now or lose payments. Something huge is happening across the UK right now. The Department for Work and Pensions has just dropped a bombshell that's sending shockwaves through every pensioner's living room. 7 brand new banking rules have been confirmed, and they're about to change how every single benefit and pension payment is handled. From account freezes to real-time payment tracking, nothing will ever work the same again. If you rely on your pension or DWP support, you need to hear this, because one small mistake could stop your payments instantly. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because on this channel, you'll always get the latest updates on DWP announcements, UK pension changes, social security payments, new government benefits, and financial news for seniors. Stay connected, stay informed, and never miss an important update that could affect your income or your future. Breaking news is shaking the United Kingdom tonight, as the Department for Work and Pensions officially confirms a series of major banking changes that will directly impact millions of pensioners, benefit claimants, and seniors across the country. These are not small tweaks or quiet updates. These are fundamental changes to how your money is handled, how your payments arrive, and how your bank interacts with the government. The DWP has rolled out 7 brand new banking rules that every pensioner must understand immediately, because failure to act could lead to delayed payments, suspended benefits, or even account freezes in the months ahead. This announcement has caused an enormous wave of concern among retirees who depend on their state pensions, attendance allowance, pension credit, or disability living allowance. Many are asking the same question: why is the DWP doing this now? And what exactly must I do to protect my pension? In today's video, I'm going to explain everything clearly and simply: what's changing, why it's happening, and how you can make sure your payments continue without interruption. Stay with me right until the end of this video, because the last rule, rule number 7, is the one that's catching thousands of people off guard. It's about digital communication, and it could change the way you receive payment updates forever. Now, before we break down these shocking updates, welcome to the channel. My name is Your Name, and I bring you the latest updates about UK benefits, pensions, and financial reforms that matter to every senior and family across the country. If you appreciate content that keeps you informed, take 1 second to subscribe and turn on notifications, because what's happening right now with the DWP could affect every household receiving state support. So, why are these rules being introduced? The DWP claims it's about security, transparency, and modernization. According to the department, the new measures aim to protect public funds and prevent misuse. Official figures released earlier this year show that fraud and payment errors in the benefit system have hit an all-time record high, with an estimated 8 billion lost in the last financial year alone. That's billions of pounds either incorrectly claimed, wrongly distributed, or even sent to accounts of people who have passed away. The government says this cannot continue, and they've now joined forces with UK banks, building societies, and the National Crime Agency to build what they're calling a banking and benefits integrity partnership. It sounds technical, but in reality, it's a powerful new system linking your national insurance record directly to your bank account to verify that every single payment goes to the correct person. The first major rule is that every pensioner's bank account must now be fully verified through the DWP's secure payment system. If your account details don't match the exact name and address on your DWP record, your payment could be automatically flagged for review or temporarily paused. The department says this is part of the new Confirmation of Payee for Benefits program, which means before sending any funds, the DWP's system will confirm that the account belongs to the correct individual. If there's even the smallest mismatch, such as a missing middle name or an outdated address, the payment will not go through until you verify your information. Pensioners who've recently switched banks or whose pensions go into a joint account with a relative should update their details immediately to avoid disruption. The second rule introduces mandatory bank reporting. For the first time, banks will be legally obligated to report any suspicious or inactive accounts that continue to receive DWP payments. So if an account hasn't seen withdrawals in months, or if a pension continues after a person's death, the bank must alert the DWP within 72 hours. This system aims to close the loopholes that have allowed millions in fraudulent payments to slip through unnoticed. But it also means pensioners need to make sure their accounts remain active. At least one small transaction or withdrawal per month can prevent an unnecessary freeze. The DWP insists this rule is designed to protect pensioners, not monitor them, but it will certainly add a new level of scrutiny across the board. The third rule deals with joint accounts and third-party access. This one is extremely important for elderly pensioners who share their bank accounts with a spouse, child, or caregiver. Under the new policy, the DWP will now require confirmation that the main claimant, the pensioner, has active access and control over that account. If your pension is going into a joint account, you might be asked to sign a declaration confirming your consent and control. In cases where a carer or family member manages the account, official authorization documents may be required to continue payments. Starting from January 2026, all new claimants will be required to provide verified banking details in their own name or a verified joint account with clear ownership proof. This rule is being introduced because the DWP has found numerous cases where funds meant for pensioners were misused by others with access to their accounts. The government says this change will help safeguard older citizens from financial exploitation. The fourth rule brings a more positive twist: real-time payment tracking. Imagine being able to see exactly when your pension payment leaves the DWP and when it arrives in your account. That's exactly what's being introduced. A new tracking system will allow pensioners to monitor every stage of the transaction process through their bank's online platform or mobile app. You'll be able to see statuses like payment approved, processing, and deposited. This change is meant to remove confusion and cut down on the thousands of daily phone calls made to DWP call centers asking the question, "Has my pension gone in yet?" It's a simple improvement, but it's one that will bring peace of mind to millions. Now, the fifth rule is the one that's caused the most controversy so far: the new anti-fraud freezes. Under these updated powers, the DWP and participating banks can temporarily freeze a bank account if it's suspected of being used for fraudulent benefit activity. What does that mean in practical terms? If an account triggers unusual patterns such as multiple benefit deposits, foreign transactions, or mismatched personal information, it could be automatically locked while an investigation is carried out. Pensioners might panic at the thought of losing access to their funds, but the DWP says most legitimate cases are resolved within 48 to 72 hours after identity verification. To stay safe, pensioners are being advised to keep a small emergency fund or a backup post office account just in case their main account experiences a temporary hold. The sixth rule marks a major step toward digital modernization: biometric and digital verification. From 2026, many banks will require pensioners and benefit claimants to verify their identity using digital tools such as facial recognition, voice ID, or passport scanning. This might sound daunting for older people who aren't familiar with technology, but it's designed to stop criminals from stealing identities or creating fake benefit claims. The DWP says biometric verification will drastically reduce identity theft, which has surged in recent years. For those who aren't comfortable with digital tools, the government will offer in-person verification services at post offices and job centers, where staff can help pensioners confirm their identity securely. But it's crucial that every pensioner ensures their ID documents are valid and match the information held by both their bank and the DWP. Finally, the seventh and most surprising rule: the move toward digital-only communication. The DWP has announced that by mid-2026, most payment notifications and benefit correspondence will switch from traditional paper letters to digital communication via email, text message, or your bank's secure app. This is part of the government's Green Initiative aimed at reducing paper waste and streamlining updates. While younger claimants may find this convenient, it's raising serious concerns among older pensioners who rely on paper letters to track their payments. The DWP insists that those who prefer physical letters will still be able to receive them, but only if they formally opt out of digital communication by registering for a digital exemption. Pensioners will need to fill out a short form at their local job center or council office before March 2026 to continue receiving paper notifications. For anyone who struggles with technology or doesn't own a smartphone, this step is absolutely essential to avoid missing important payment updates or verification requests. So, what does all of this mean for pensioners right now? It means that action is needed, and soon. Start by double-checking your banking details. Make sure your name and address are exactly the same on your bank records and your DWP account. If you've changed your bank recently, notify the DWP immediately. If you use a joint account, ensure that you are listed as a primary account holder. Keep your bank account active by making small transactions regularly. Make sure your ID documents are up to date and easily accessible, as you might be asked for digital or in-person verification at any time. If you prefer to continue receiving paper letters, remember to apply for your digital exemption before the deadline. And finally, keep a close eye on any letters, emails, or text messages from the DWP, because ignoring them could lead to suspended payments. Now, let's talk about why all of this matters. These changes aren't random. They reflect a much larger shift happening within the UK's welfare and financial systems. The government wants to make payments faster, more secure, and harder to exploit. But as the system modernizes, the risk is that vulnerable pensioners might get left behind. The DWP says it's aware of this challenge and has promised to provide support, including in-person help at job centers, phone helplines, and guidance sessions through local councils. But ultimately, it will come down to awareness. And that's why videos like this are so important. The more people understand what's changing, the less chance there is of anyone losing access to their benefits because of confusion or missed updates. The truth is, these new rules are both a step forward and a test of trust. On one hand, they promise tighter protection against fraud and faster transactions. On the other hand, they introduce new forms of verification that might feel complicated, especially for pensioners who are not comfortable with technology. That's why it's more important than ever to stay informed, help one another, and make sure our elderly relatives understand what's required of them. The DWP insists these changes are for the better, but preparation is the key to making sure you benefit from them, not suffer because of them. As we move closer to 2026, the entire banking and benefit system is entering a digital transformation phase. It's not just about fraud prevention, it's about building a system that can handle payments in real time, verify identities instantly, and eliminate the errors that have plagued the system for years. Pensioners who take the time now to update their details, secure their accounts, and understand these changes will have a much smoother experience when the full rollout begins. So as we wrap up this important update, let me remind you, your pension is your right. It's money you've earned over a lifetime of hard work. Don't let administrative changes or verification delays stand in the way of receiving what's yours. Stay proactive, stay informed, and take the steps I've outlined today to protect your payments under the new DWP banking rules. If you found this information helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more pensioners who need to hear this. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I'll continue bringing you every major DWP update, payment schedule, and policy change that could affect your benefits. Tell me in the comments what you think about these new rules. Do you believe they're necessary for security, or do you think the DWP is making life harder for pensioners? I read every comment and would love to hear your experiences. Until next time, stay alert, stay informed, and take care of yourself and your loved ones. Your pension, your payments, and your peace of mind matter, and staying one step ahead is the best way to protect them.